Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sports and Nonsense, show where we talk some sports and we talk some nonsense. I was just checking up on Dan Campbell's world before we started. Nothing interesting this week in Dan Campbell's life. He has, I guess, said, or he's been sent a lion from PETA. It's a stuffed one named what was it named? Dan Detroit or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Dan Detroit. So there's a lion at the he got his pet lion, which is kind of funny.
Not the way we want it, but
no, it's not the way that we want it. Well, the first article that I was going over, it was the last article on the first page of Google. It says it just says looks like Dan Campbell may be getting a lion after all. In the so that article made it sound a lot better than it actually was.
It's just a stuffed lion.
So yeah, nothing interesting in Dan Campbell's world to go off of today. Have you seen Tim Tebow?
Yeah, dude's ripped.
Dude is fucking jacked. Like, yeah. I saw a picture of him catching a football today, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, his arms are as big as the football.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we'll see what happens. He might make an impact, so
we'll see.
I don't know.
Well, now a bunch of other players are like, "Oh, if he can come back, so could I." It's like, no, guys, he played quarterback for like 3 years. Brandon Jacobs, the old Giants running back, was like, "I'm 38, I can come back and play DN." Like, no, Brandon, you can't. He played quarterback for 3 years. You played running back for like 11. Like, it's okay.
He played quarterback, and the most time that he played as a starter was like 2 years.
In Denver. Yeah, it was in Denver, right?
Yeah. And he was a backup the rest of the time.
Yeah, like it's okay, Brent. It's okay, Brandon. It's okay. You can stay retired. And even if like Tim Tebow had played for like the full 5 years he's in the league as a starter, you're still a quarterback. It's not as much wear and tear as a running back.
Right. So there's some interesting developments in the football world in terms of current rostered players. Julio Jones went on what's that show with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, First Take or something?
Undisputed or First Take,
something like that. One of those shows. And I don't know if he knew he was on air or not. Because if he knew he was on air, they could get in trouble.
I don't know what happened. You'll have to inform
Shannon
me
Sharp
as well.
Called him while they were on air. And
Tebow?
No, Julio Jones.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Shannon Sharp called Julio Jones while on air and basically was like, "Hey man, you gonna be staying in Atlanta?" And he goes, and Julio Jones goes, "Ah man, no, I'm out of there." I was
like, Julio. It's not even his real name.
No, I know. So it's looking more like after June 1st, because that's when the cap goes up.
Yeah.
Is when the deal is going to be happening. So ESPN has come out with some offers for
Didn't somebody I saw somebody offered a first for him, and I don't know who that somebody is, but if I'm Atlanta, take that one. Like,
I don't know if I've seen that yet, but I know there's some mock-ups for some trade offers that ESPN did. And the first one is the Ravens, and they would send the Falcons a 2022 second round pick and the Chiefs 2022 fifth round pick. And then the Falcons would also pick up $4 million of Jones's salary in 2021.
Okay.
How does that one sound?
Oh, I think it's the only offer. I mean, if it's the only offer I'm getting, then sure, I'll take it. But I mean, a second's not bad, especially for how old he is.
New England Patriots have a mock offer here for a 2022 second rounder and quarterback Jared Stidham.
No, I'm good. Thanks. You keep that. I'm good. Thanks.
We'll get to the Patriots quarterback room in a second. I got stuff I want to talk about it. The Niners would send a 2022 second and a 2023 fourth.
It's not bad. I'll take that before the Chiefs one or the Ravens.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
The Titans would send a 2022 third and linebacker Rashawn Evans.
Oh, sorry, long morning. I don't know. I guess it would depend on what your direct needs are for linebacker.
Mm-hmm. And the verdict is that the Falcons would accept the Niners offer out of those.
Yeah, that's what I would have done too.
So,
because I read that someone offered a first for him, so I don't care who that team is. You take that offer, you know.
I read on Twitter that somebody had said Julio to the Patriots from an official source. That's all I know. He didn't know any details about it.
I wouldn't be shocked if he goes to New England. If you guys give up a first round pick for Julio, I think Atlanta won the 28-3 game after all, because I wouldn't give a first for Julio if I was New England. But again, you know, multiple picks can trump one first rounder if they're good enough, you know.
So someone's getting cut from the Patriots camp probably in the next few weeks.
If they like the trade, yeah.
No. The Patriots quarterback room has 4 quarterbacks in it. And
Newton, Jones, Stidham, and who else?
They re-signed Brian Hoyer.
Oh, Hoyer's getting cut.
I think it's Stidham.
We're both.
I think it'll be Stidham because Hoyer knows the game plan and he has a similar play style to Mac Jones, so he'll be grooming Mac Jones.
Stidham won't get cut.
And I guess Mac Jones is impressing coaches and teammates at the OTA workouts. He said he's been throwing the best ball out of all the quarterbacks.
Well, I'm sure he has. Cam Newton throws like a baseball. Oh God, I got cramp. Yeah, I mean, I like Mac Jones. I told you I liked Mac Jones. Mm-hmm. Whether or not he works out is unknown at this time, but I liked him.
We'll see.
You want to talk about the opposite of somebody who's jacked is Mac Jones.
Yeah,
that dude is going to win.
He's like my body style.
That guy's going to win 4 Super Bowls with a dad bod.
Well, it's funny because like if you look at pictures of Brady in his for his combine photos, like he didn't look all that impressive either.
No, I just think it's funny just because Brady is just right now like a Greek god in terms of body style, you know.
It's and because he eats Jones. Nothing but avocados.
I know. He's just got Mexico. avocado everything. But I like Mac Jones. I hope he works out.
Kendrick Bourne has apparently said that he has a swag to him that I didn't know he had at first. You couldn't tell from the draft that he had
say that walk.
Yeah. Like
it looked like such a goofball at the draft, man. I just I hope he works out. I like him. He's the only Jones quarterback that I like right now, so I have to root for somebody. Good old Danny Dimes over in New York needs to get his crap together.
I hope, man. Cam was here at the beginning, and he's been a consistent participant, continues to give us usual leadership and energy. He's just keeping Cam around to lick his own butthole.
No, Cam Newton will start at least the first game of the season for sure. But it's just a matter of
just Cam's one of those like praise the coach no matter what happens or no matter what he says. So he'll stay in that. And that's what Belichick wants. That's why that's why him and Brady had a falling out.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just me.
I don't know. I think Belichick's a year too early rather than a year too late kind of guy.
We'll see.
What happens if Brady comes out this season and just starts throwing like ducks all over the field? You know,
He still won a Super Bowl.
Well, that was last year.
year.
I said this year. What happens if this year he comes out and just, like I said, year too early as opposed to a year too late? Well, that would fit the mold.
Oh yeah. So like he could have kept him one more year.
One more Super Bowl, and then this
more
year he
Super Bowl,
comes out throwing ducks this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am happy. What's his name is staying retired. Edelman.
Yeah.
We'll
see how long that lasts.
But I always liked Gronkowski and I know that, and I just lost a lot of. I know Gronkowski doesn't sleep, doesn't lose any sleep over my opinion of him, but
over the $10 million that he earned last year.
No, he's not worried about me. But I lost a little bit of respect for the man. I was like, you come out of retirement just to go to Tampa Bay. I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. You're retired, and I don't care if you come out of retirement, but don't.
He was going to get traded like back in 2017
to Detroit, and he said, "I'll retire," which like that I'm fine with. Like you know that I don't care. Do that all you want. I'm talking about like you retire. He wouldn't come back to New England that year. Even though Brady was like trying to get him to come back to New England like that year, even later in the year. And he wouldn't do it. And then Brady leaves. He goes to Tampa, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll come." Like it's just, dude.
So he said, Tom's my quarterback. That's what he said.
Bill Belichick is the greatest coach to ever coach the game of football. Get over it, man. He's mean sometimes. Like, get over it. Like, they all like, I guess a lot of shit talking happens to Bill Belichick. Like, okay, well then give back the 6 Super Bowls. If it was that bad, shut up and just play the stupid game. If you're mad about your coach, that's fine. But don't come on, man. You're a professional athlete. I get it. Some coaches are harder than others. And I just, you won 6 Super Bowls, Tom. Or how many did Gronk win? 3, 4? 3. Not counting Tampa Bay. You won 3 Super Bowls, Tom. That's 3 more than most tight ends. Just shut up. Just get over it, man. The guy was hard on you, and you won 3 Super Bowls. That guy could rip my butthole out and put it next to my mouth, and if that means I win a Super Bowl, then I still do it.
Somebody was saying on sports radio the other day, it's because it was they were talking about the Patriots quarterback stuff, and they were saying, would you give up the Rams Super Bowl, because that was the last one the Patriots won, right?
With Tom Brady, I think.
Yeah. Well, they haven't gone to the Super Bowl since Tom Brady. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too.
So we have 6, right? We have 6. Yeah. So it's Rams, Eagles, Panthers, Falcons.
Because then you guys lost to the Titans. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that was the last one then, I think.
Now I'm confused. Rams, Eagles, Panthers, Falcons, Rams again.
Seahawks. You forgot Seahawks.
Oh, Seahawks, right.
Yeah.
So they were saying, would you give up that Super Bowl,
the most recent Rams one,
to have Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback? Because that's what it was when the quarterback room was Brady, Garoppolo, Brissett. It was Garoppolo was going to be the next guy. Brady was on his way out, and then Brady forced Garoppolo to get traded, and then he stayed around. So if Brady ended up getting forced out and traded, or actually just left, would you give up the Super Bowl for having a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo?
No.
No?
No. That's a no. That's not even a question for me. No. Because there's no guarantee you winning these Super Bowls with Jimmy Garoppolo. So you give up one.
That's what it is.
You give up one to maybe win more.
Give up one to maybe win more, but you have a better chance than you do now.
Maybe. You don't know that. What if Mac Jones comes out on week 1 and just blows the water out of the river? You never know. No, I don't do that. Garoppolo's about to get traded after 2 years in San Francisco. Clearly didn't work out. And Brady won a Super Bowl.
Like 4 years in San Francisco.
Has it been? Oh, I forget he got hurt that 1 year too.
Yeah.
No, and I'd keep the Super Bowl.
I think I'd do it just because I'd have a better view of like.
No, I would never trade a Super Bowl for maybe some more, because you never know. Super Bowl. We talked about it last week. Super Bowl is so hard to get to, let alone win.
Yeah.
You know, like would I give up one of our Super Bowls against the Patriots in exchange of a higher chance of winning more with Eli Manning? No, because there's no guarantee we would have made it or won them.
I mean, if you had a quarterback,
I could understand maybe saying, "Hey, I'll trade this Super Bowl in exchange for a different one." You know, like Tom Brady saying, "I would trade 2 Super Bowls for the one in 2007." That I understand.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't trade a Super Bowl for a chance at another one or more.
If the Giants, I'll put it like this. If the Giants had the ability to win the division every year from 2008 to whenever Eli retired.
Sure.
2 years, wasn't it?
No, it was last year.
Oh.
Last year was the first year without Eli Manning.
So they win the division every year and they're guaranteed into the playoffs.
Yep.
With a good team, like, or what, because they're winning the division.
You got to be a good team to get to the playoffs anyway.
Yeah, you got to be a good team to win the division. So you wouldn't give up the Super Bowl for that?
No.
Because you have plenty of opportunities to...
Nope, because I've seen them go and I've seen them blow it. At any team, I will take the Super Bowl. I'll take the wins, and then we'll get back when we get back.
It's just
because you say, oh yeah, you win the division, great, you made the division. Now, just winning the division guarantees you at least a 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't necessarily mean you're the 1 seed. You're the top of the conference.
Mm-hmm.
So you still got to go and beat teams that probably might be better than you. You know, you remember when the Giants went the last 2 times, they were the 6th seed the first time, and then the 4 seed the second time. And I think they played a total of 1 home game for each of those playoff runs. You know, so no, I'll take the Super Bowl because there's no guarantee they even make the Super Bowl in those other instances. Mm-hmm. Now, if we're talking like, would you trade this for that? Yes. The question I think I asked you, but it was about the draft though. Like drafting the kicker who can't miss or the punter who, you know, always, that I would trade a 1st round pick for sure. But in terms of like, I don't trade Super Bowls. That's just not.
I watched somebody do the math on that kicker stat.
Yeah.
He did like
a kicker who can't miss, or
a kicker who can't miss. I watched somebody on TikTok do the math for that, and he he did averages, like he was going through averages, percentages, and like drive percentages and all that stuff. So it's like he was saying that you 100% should take the kicker in the 1st round because not only are you scoring every drive that you're getting, your defense, because you have you're kicking off the next play, your defense is always going to be starting at least like on their half of the field, so they'll always have bad field position. So
I was talking to, I think, my grandpa actually about that, and he threw a curveball. He's like, okay, well, what if it made it a little more complicated? And then he's like, so when you draft a kicker in the 1st round who 100% accuracy from kicks less than 40 yards, 100%, he will never miss under 40 yards, right? From 40 to 60 yards, it's a 70% chance that he makes it. But again, he will never miss inside that window.
No.
So you're not taking a 1st for that? No.
Because that's Justin Tucker.
That's true. That is Justin Tucker. Okay, that's true. I should have said that. I didn't even think of that. What? Oh, there's a guy like that. That's Justin Tucker.
yeah.
But it's just Justin Tucker. Where would you draft Justin Tucker? If Justin Tucker was coming out in the draft right now, where would you draft him? With what pick? 3rd round?
2nd, maybe. Low 2nd.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what else is there. Yeah. You know, but because Justin Tucker is almost an automatic guy. You know, you just say, okay, well, if we can get to the 50, we're going to score 3 points at least. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do a 2nd. Oh man, I wish I thought of that. I forgot about Justin Tucker. I was like,
should have looked at him and be like, "There's already a guy like that. His name is Justin Tucker."
I just, like I say,
Butker's kind of like that too.
I just, you know that I value kickers a lot more than maybe other people do. But I don't know, man. I've had kickers that are automatic, and and I'm talking about on the Giants. I've had kickers that are automatic, and I've had kickers that are an absolute liability back there. And man, it's noticeable when you have one or the other. You know what I mean? It's like you guys had Vinatieri and Gostkowski for so long, and they were just so consistent.
Mhm.
And then when your kicker starts to suck, it's noticeable. They start missing those 30-yard kicks, 20-yard kicks. Justin Tucker's. I think I've only seen Justin Tucker miss one kick my entire life.
Yeah, and he was shocked.
Yeah, even he was like,
Yeah.
he's like, what happened? I remember that because I remember even like the team and the coach were like, it's okay, man, don't worry about it. No one was mad. It's Justin Tucker. The dude will hit every other kick you send him out there to do. Good old Justin Tucker.
Good segue into kickers because the all-time leading scorer in the NFL has officially retired after 24 seasons. You said his name before. It's Adam Vinatieri. He's officially done kicking footballs in the NFL. So it's a sad day.
I hope he goes on
kickers.
Pat McAfee's podcast show.
I hope he does too. I don't know if they're like buddies.
Well, I don't know. Even if they're not, I just want to see them together again.
Yeah, Pat McAfee used to make fun of Vinatieri all the time. Like, there's actually an ESPN article where they asked every single holder that Vinatieri's ever had, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them over the last. That's kind of impressive that it's only 8 holders in a 24-year time span.
Well, he was at the Colts for a while, and so was McAfee.
So his longest holder was Pat McAfee for 2009 to 2016. So that was the most that he's ever had one holder.
It's still I always wondered why punters are like the designated holders in most teams.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's an injury thing, but I don't, you don't want your quarterback out there because then if he gets clobbered on a bad snap. But I always wonder why they picked punters of all positions to hold. Why the punter? But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Apparently, McAfee, before every kick, he would look at the snapper to see if he's ready, look back at Vinatieri and ask him, "You ready, old man?" And then Vinatieri would just nod and go, "Yep."
Well, Vinatieri was old, know, so I like Vinatieri.
Yeah. It's my all-time favorite kicker. I have this picture on my wall.
He got a little shady at the end, or flaky at the end, towards the end. But
so I have the stats. I have the stats per holder that Vinatieri had. He was 83 for 103 in the first 3 years. So 80. His highest percentage was actually 2004, 2005, and 2009 to 2016. Obviously, he kicked more field goals in that time frame, but he hit. When Pat McAfee was his holder, he hit 87.9% of his field goals.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count extra points, I'm guessing, right?
It's just field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, he went 3 for 3 in 2010, but he was injured. He got injured in week 2 or 3, so that doesn't count.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, he's got 100% on there. He had 12.
It's like
points.
I don't know why that reminded me, but anytime I ever play like a Madden season, like a franchise, and I go to like the stats, like the end of the season stats, there's always one like backup quarterback or like running back who has like a perfect passer rating because he threw one pass and it was completed and that was it.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So yeah, he's never hit under 80% field goals lifetime.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
His lifetime field goals is 84.2%.
How many Super Bowls? Yeah, 4. 3 with you. Get 3 with the Patriots. He didn't win one with the Colts. He wasn't on the Colts when they won.
They won in 2006.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, 3. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer without the Super Bowls, but
yeah.
Good for him.
2 of his kicks were game winners in the Super Bowl. So
yeah, good for him. I thought they were championship games. I know one was a Super Bowl.
Was the other one the Rams Super Bowl was a game winner.
Oh, that's right. It was
and then the
Panthers, right?
Panthers Super Bowl was a game winner.
That's right.
And then he kicked the game winner in the Snow Bowl,
Oakland.
which is the picture I have on my wall. It's the
That's
the Snow Bowl.
that's the Tuck Rule game, isn't it?
That's the Tuck Rule game. Yep. And it's funny because I was reading that because that holder was talking about it was Ken Walter. He was talking about that game, and he was saying he's like, I love John Gruden to death, but he made the biggest mistake of his career because he called a timeout and let us clear the snow from the spot.
I never even thought of that. That's a great.
He said he called by calling a timeout. He allowed us to clear the snow.
Yeah.
And Adam already made one in the snow from further distance, but he gave us the timeout to clear a spot, so it was just too easy.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I just assumed snow. Like, oh well, yeah, they're not going to clear off the space because for some reason they wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, good for him. Like I said, I like Adam Vinatieri. Even when he's a Patriot,
the first Super Bowl, the final drive was a 7-play, 53-yard drive to the Rams 30 with 7 seconds left, and they kicked the field goal to win. And then
at least it's not like Scott Norwood.
Yeah, and then in Super Bowl 38, with 4 seconds left, Vinatieri kicked a 41-yard field goal to break the 29-29 tie.
Man, I got to be honest, I forgot about those, and I'm just so happy that the 2 Giants Super Bowls that I watched did not come down to a kicker making a field goal. God, you know how small your butthole must have been?
I don't think that there's been a Super Bowl since.
Not that I know of.
That one the Panthers game that was won via
game-winning field goal.
Game-winning field goal.
As time expired, especially.
I mean, there was a Super Bowl that was the last play of the game was the game winner, and that was the overtime Super Bowl, the only one in existence. That one's not like a 50-yard field goal to win the game. Yeah. That's just like on the edge of your seat. Like,
I know
the Patriots are at the 2-yard line. We're just like,
let's run it.
They're going to score.
Let's run it in
here. They're not going to Seahawks it here.
Yeah. Just go ahead. Yeah, you may. I remember watching that game. And I said the person I was watching it with, I was like, if they pass it here, then they have learned nothing.
You were watching it with me?
No, I wasn't. Not the Falcons.
The Falcons Super Bowl?
Nope.
Yeah, no, you were what?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Positive. I was at my buddy's house in Dover. Positive. The one I watched with you was the Eagles one and the Rams one.
You must have been with us for the first half of the game then, because you were. No,
I am 100% positive because when I was working at the jewelry store and I went right from there to my friend's house in Dover.
I thought you were with us when for that.
I was with you for the Eagles because when the Rams one came, you had made a joke about not inviting me because the last time I watched a game with you, they lost.
Oh, well,
that was the Atlanta one was the one that I won squares, but I wasn't with you.
I could have sworn that you were because I could have sworn that you were with us because you were. I don't.
I'm positive I know where it was. It was in Dover. Because the guy I was watching with hated the Patriots and he was talking shit the whole time, and then stuff went down.
Oh. So congrats on a career, very good one to Vinatieri, because he I don't know. He'll probably go do analyst stuff.
Yeah, he should. Or just retire, enjoy retirement, and don't do anything.
He'll be the new kicking analyst, like the Cardinals kicker. I don't remember who it was. He would always come on like CBS or something and talk about.
Feely?
Yeah, Feely. Yeah. He was on. I think he was on the Fox broadcast.
Yeah, he was a Giants kicker too for a little while. Mm-hmm. He wore gloves, didn't he? He was like one of the only kickers that ever wore gloves for some reason. Like, Jay, you're not gonna touch the ball. It's okay. It's like Kurt Warner or Teddy Bridgewater. They wear gloves as a quarterback. I never. Whatever. It worked for Kurt Warner. I was like, it looks weird to me. Mm-hmm. You know. I could understand the one glove on your offhand, but the 2 gloves, I was like, okay, I mean, whatever works. But it's just weird to me.
And yeah, Edelman's actually. Did you know Edelman's doing?
On Fox too, isn't he?
No, I think he's doing the NFL Network show, which is
be good for TV. If he got a good personality for TV, it'd be good for him.
He's got a good face for TV.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
It's like Patrick Sharp. Patrick Sharp is a beautiful man.
He's a good-looking man.
Like-
I'd go to dinner with him. You know, like I forgot who we were talking to, and I said I forgot. It might have been Tom Brady, and I was like, yeah, I'd fuck him. And somebody was like, what? And I was like, what? He's a good-looking guy. Like I don't. Listen, I ain't gay, but it's Tom Brady. You know, like I'm not gonna say no to that. It's a good-looking guy. I forgot who it was. It might have been Tom Brady. I forgot who it was, but yeah, man. I don't know if you remember, and that reminded me, but remember when you were working at GameStop, and I come in to visit. I forgot who it was, but you were like trying to like. You told, I think it might have been before I was in security. It might have been the other security, Ben, I think his name was. And you were telling him how, like, for me, you know, you were like, if you ask him to do anything, there's always a dollar amount that he'll do it for. And you guys were just asking me the gnarliest, like, oh, would you do this for whatever money? And the answer's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I remember Ben was like, oh, I could never. I'm like, yeah, you would. It was like, oh, like $1 billion one was like, would you do like a million to do like, you know, some sort of like, you know, homosexual act? And I was like, yeah, man, like dude, for $1 million, I'll make you miss me when it's done. I'll make you miss me when I'm gone. Like, but yeah, it's anyway, yeah, Julian Edelman, good looking guy. Good for him. I hope it works out for him. And he's good for TV. I mean, he's got a good personality outside of just the fact that he's a good looking dude. Yeah, he'll be a good guy for that show. I want him to go on that with Skip Bayless, because Skip Bayless has always been
undisputed
a Patriot hater. You know.
Yeah, I think he's doing the NFL Network like Sunday show before the game start.
with Michael Irvin and Sean O'Hara.
Yeah. Either that or he might be on the CBS one. I don't think he's on NFL today.
I don't think he's on CBS. Because then they would have had to have replaced somebody, because they've had a pretty consistently full crew for a long time. Just go get Edelman in the booth with Tony Romo. Just listen to them. Go back and forth.
So he joined Inside the NFL, which is the
NFL Network.
Oh no, it's Showtime. Excuse me, on Showtime. Bougie.
Yeah, he's getting a little ghetto. All right, like.
That's
on. I didn't even know Showtime had a.
Yeah, joining the cast of Showtime's Inside the NFL. In addition, he and his media production company, Coast Productions, will be partnering with Viacom CBS to make movies, shows, and documentaries. What's with these football players making their own production company?
It's money. Good money at that, I'm sure. Good for him. I hope it works out for him.
Interesting.
If you look at Inside the NFL cast, it's got James Brown, Phil Simms, Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, Boomer Esiason, Brandon Marshall, Dan Marino. So I mean, I think it's some good
like
names on
everyone from the NFL Network broadcast and the CBS broadcast like mixed together,
and a little bit of ESPN, because Warren Sapp's on there too.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess it's CBS that owns Showtime,
and then Wanda Sykes for some reason.
Okay.
I mean, good for her, but whatever.
It's like it's like Rob Riggle on the Fox one. Just like, why?
Yeah, I mean, the cast is a pretty good cast. It should work out for him. Yeah. It's not like it's Julian Edelman and then like every other backup quarterback in existence. You know, like it's like man, who is it? He won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. Trent Dilfer. Like he's on. I see him as an analyst, and I'm like, I get it, man. He's a professional quarterback, but like you couldn't get anybody better than Trent Dilfer.
Well,
like
Trent Dilfer, the worst quarterback. He was a starting quarterback for the Bengals for a few years.
He wasn't He's not a Super Bowl elite. You know, he won that Ravens one because the Ravens.
I didn't say he was a Super Bowl elite quarterback.
Ravens score 3 points. They win by 3 that year, man. That's basically how good that defense was.
I didn't say he was a Super Bowl quarterback. I was just saying
worst quarterback.
He was a starting quarterback. What?
Yeah.
Oh, he started for the Ravens that year?
Yeah, he was the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. I guess I get it, man. He's the professional quarterback. He knows way more than I do. But like,
this might be a topic for next week.
You couldn't get somebody a little bit better to co-host your show. What's the topic? Trent Dilfer.
No, the worst quarterback to. Actually, it's funny you should say that. I just searched worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and the number one search is Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, I told you. Like,
oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I think it's going.
I mean, you got like, and I think
There's-
Jim Plunkett on there, whatever his name
There's
is.
8
Like,
players on here. It's Trent Dilfer, Jim Plunkett, Doug
yeah,
Williams.
I got the top two.
Jeff Hostetler, Mark Ripon, Brad Johnson, Joe Namath, and Ben Roethlisberger.
Joe Namath.
Yeah,
Namath is a good. Ben Roethlisberger. I'm guessing they're talking about his rookie, not his rookie year, his first Super Bowl, right?
probably.
I was gonna say that one was a disaster, but I was gonna say I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I'm surprised Joe Namath's name is on there. I got the top two. I got Dilfer and Plunkett.
Eli Manning's on this list.
Why? Eli Manning will be on every list ever because nobody can give that man any credit.
Dang, Joe Namath is number 1 on this list.
That list is the list in the garbage.
Let's see. Terry Bradshaw's on this list too. Terry Bradshaw, Eli Manning, Ken Stabler.
I wonder if that list is like based on the season they had. Not
is
like
a Bleacher Report. It's a Bleacher Report article.
Come on. Bleacher Report's like Wikipedia for the sports world. I wonder if that's like based on the season they played.
Oh my God, this one's. I guess Jim McMahon, maybe. This one has Jim McMahon on it.
If Trent Dilfer is not the number 1 worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl, then the list is invalid. Like,
I got the top two.
I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's such a nice dude. And like, he's still a professional quarterback, but man, was he bad. In terms of like Super Bowl quarterbacks, you know what I mean? Like, because typically when a team gets to the Super Bowl, the quarterback is good. They're great. They're great to elite quarterback. But he
won with the Ravens.
Yeah,
he played 1 year with the Ravens.
Yeah, 2001.
2000.
Yeah, 2001. Same difference. Yeah, they beat the shit out of the Giants.
The Giants it was the Giants.
They beat the shit out of the Giants in the Super Bowl. It was bad, man. The Giants scored all their points in the NFC Championship game and forgot how to score for the Super Bowl. Like, we scored like 40 points in the championship game and then put up 7 or 3. I forgot.
Wow.
In the Super Bowl. It was bad.
Trent Dilfer is bad.
Yeah, he's not. I guess I'm sure he's a great dude, man. I'm happy for him in retirement. He's got a good job, but you couldn't find someone else.
His completion percentage is 55.5%. His touchdowns to interception ratio is 113 to 129. Oh. And his passer rating his passer rating is 70.2.
Oh, yeah. See, there you go. That's not a good quarterback for a Super Bowl. But you see, when you have that Ravens defense, you can be as bad as you want because again, Ravens score 3 points, you win by 3. That's basically how the game goes at that point.
That was that's some like backup level.
Not even. That's not even a serviceable backup. You know, Christ, at least Colt McCoy beat the Seahawks for the Giants last year. I don't think Trent Dilfer could have done that. Like,
Giants scored 7 points.
Yeah,
in that Super Bowl.
Got the absolute piss beat out of them in that game. Yeah, that was my. I think that was the first.
At least you got to watch Aerosmith, Britney Spears, Nelly, Mary J. Blige, and NSYNC.
Way too young to remember that.
Oh,
I don't remember that. I
forget you're a lot younger than I am. I was 10 when that one.
I don't remember the halftime show, but I remember that was the first Super Bowl that I watched.
What a 2000 era halftime show that is. Aerosmith, Britney Spears, Nelly, Mary J. Blige, and NSYNC.
Yeah, the first Super Bowl that I remember distinctly was the Patriots Rams one.
That was the next year.
Yeah. That's when I got like into football, you know, more so than like to be honest, like the year the Giants win, I wasn't even a Giants fan. I didn't really watch enough football to be a fan of anything. And then I didn't really become like a Giants fan, like an official, like I root for the Giants until 2003 or 4. Because I remember rooting for the Eagles for a very confusing year of my life. And then I kind of I became a Giants fan. I just decided I want to be a Giants fan, and I stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really didn't have I was like one of those kids. I just kind of liked football. I didn't really have a favorite team, mainly because the teams around me were shit or the fans were obnoxious, or both, because the Patriots weren't good until, early into like that 2001, 2000 year. So I just didn't really care for the Patriots at the time.
I'm just going through halftime shows. Like I'm just looking at like, and
Yeah.
don't you remember the 2004 halftime show with Justin Timberlake and
Yeah,
Janet
of course I
Jackson?
do. Everyone remembers that one.
That one.
Everyone.
Uh,
Even if you didn't watch the game, you remembered that one.
I thought that was always just those two for the halftime show. There's so many people in that halftime show.
Yeah, I only remember those two though. I don't remember who
Jessica
else was in it.
Simpson, Ocean of Soul, Spirit of Houston. Don't know who any of those are. I know Jessica Simpson, but
yeah,
Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, P. Diddy, Kid Rock, and Nelly. That's a
wow. That's an early 2000s dream team right there, man.
Yeah.
And then you have obviously the moment that we all remember. But
yeah.
I remember when Justin Timberlake
the
came out.
Malfunction.
Yeah, I remember when Timberlake came out for the halftime show. I forgot what year it was. I think you and I watched that one together. I remember because you and I were just like laughing, but like stay away from Justin, just screaming every time he would get near one of the dance. Just get away from him. Get away.
Yeah,
but things I remember.
That was the last year. Looking back at all these Super Bowl, that was the last year that it was like a bunch of like artists. Like ever since then, it was only been like one or maybe two.
Yeah, they've kind of opened it up more recently though. Like there's like one, like okay, so and so is going to play, and they always seem to have like somebody with them.
The 2007 the 2012 Super Bowl, the second Giants Patriots Super Bowl.
That was the Heartbreakers, right?
Madonna.
Tom Petty, the Heartbreakers was the first one, 2007.
Madonna, LMFAO, Mia, or MIA. Sorry.
So I didn't watch that halftime show because I was at
everybody.
I was at boot camp for that Super Bowl, so I didn't watch the halftime.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah. It's funny. It's the only Super Bowl to this day
since
sad 2001. It's the only Super Bowl to this day since 2001 that I have never watched. And ironically, it's one of the ones that my team won.
Right. Yeah. It's one of the ones you probably should have watched.
Yeah. I remember I was in boot camp and
did you ask like
yeah.
You're asking?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I took the push-ups.
Who's in the Super Bowl?
No, I knew who was in it. So I shipped out for boot camp after the NFC Championship game. It was the week. It was the week after.
Yeah.
So I knew they were in it. I was in the processing week, the week of the day of the Super Bowl, and I remember, in the Navy we call our drill instructors RDCs, and my senior RDC was a chief, at 87, and he comes in our compartment room, and he's like, "Who here is a Giants or Patriots fan?" And I was like, my brain was like, "Don't raise your hand. Just shut up. Just don't." And I was like, "I am Steve," and like two other guys raised their hands, both Patriot fans, and he looks at us and he says, "Only three of you?" And nobody, everybody else is like, "No," And he goes, "Okay." He's like, "I'm gonna tell y'all who wins in the morning, and the losing team owes me 100 push-ups on the spot." And I'm sitting there like, "Fuck!" Like,
deal.
I was like, "Man, there's no way we beat him twice." And he's like, "But if you whatchamacallit, he goes, if you come in my office right now, I'll give you updates, the score updates as they happen." So I was like, "Deal." So I ran into his office with him, and he just beat the shit out of me for like an hour before the game started. I was like just dripping with sweat. I'm just like, and he goes, "All right, man, you're good. Get out." And I left. I thought he bamboozled me. I thought he fucked me because like all he did was beat the hell out of me, and then I went back to our compartment. And this dude, man, he came in every like score and told me, like the score, because I was the only one that went in the room and got the shit beat out of me, and he gave me the score. And then the next morning he beat the hell out of the other two because the Patriots lost.
Oh my god!
But yeah, that's how I knew who won at boot camp. I didn't get to watch it. The only time he came in and gave me not a score update was when Justin Tuck got an interception. He came in, he's like, "Justin Tuck just intercepted the Patriots." So I was like, "The defensive lineman Justin Tuck?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, did he score? He's like, no, but he got a pick. And I was like, okay. And I was like, oh, thank you, Chief. I was like, oh, cool, thanks, Chief. And he goes, shut the fuck up. I'm like, okay. So yeah, that's how I know who won. And I remember like my mom would write me letters and she wouldn't tell me who won because she didn't want to spoil it for me. She wanted me to watch it when I got out. So she was like, the Patriot, the Super Bowl was great. I can't wait for you to watch it. And I'm just like, I know who won. Like, we're not cavemen, SpongeBob. We have technology.
Yeah.
I get to watch that one.
I went to basic training in June. So
Just the World Series in your tech school?
Well, no. I got out of tech school the first week of November. So I may have missed the World Series, but that was 2000. I had access. Yeah. But that was like the Red Sox were not a good team in 2009. So that was the Yankees beat the Phillies. So yeah, I had no interest in watching that World Series.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I was just like, no, I'm good. Like,
yeah, actually, back in 2009, I was a Yankee fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a Red Sox fan
when they won the.
I
World
was
Series.
a Yankee. I was actually a Yankee fan up until probably 2013. My whole life, Yankee fan. My grandfather's a Yankee fan, and I only switched because I stopped watching baseball in high school. Like after that, ironically, after that Phillies game, I stopped watching. I just lost interest. You know, I got more into football and more into other stuff and girls. So like, I stopped watching baseball, and I remember I got stationed up here, and my buddy texted me. He goes, "Hey, do you want to go to a Red Sox game tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah." Sure, why not? Like, well, I'll go to a Red Sox game.
It's only 40 minutes. Only 40-minute drive.
I was like, whatever, man. Baseball is baseball. I still like going to sporting events. I don't care who's playing. Again, I'm a Giants fan. He said, hey, you want to go to a Patriots-Jets game? But yeah, fuck the Jets. Let's go. It would have been no doubt. Either way, I'm going to a sport. Like again, you and I went to a Bruins game. I don't know anything about hockey, but it was still fun. And I just talked shit the whole time. But anyway, so we're at Fenway. We got standing room seats for the Monster. And they're doing batting practice, and my buddy goes, well, let's go down to the bottom of the Monster, the 4 feet from the top to the bottom, and just maybe we'll get a batting practice ball. I got hit in the face with a ball at batting practice, and I became a Red Sox fan. I was like, okay, that's good enough for me. Yeah, man, I got hit in the face with a ball at batting practice. Like,
did they come and like check on you?
Medical staff came and brought me back down to their little room, and
none of the you didn't get a signed ball or anything?
No, I got to keep the ball though. I got to keep the ball.
Yeah, of course you get to keep the ball.
My blood's on it. I got hit with the ball, and it plopped back into I'm trying to find the picture. It plopped back into like the field.
Into the field to play.
Yeah. Well, it was batting practice, and they were playing the White Sox, and the dudes who were in the outfield, like playing catch essentially, saw it hit me, and they like called back up and they threw it back up to give it to me. And I'm just like thank you. So yeah, I got that's how I became a Red Sox fan. I got hit in the face with a baseball. You know what though? I didn't lose any teeth. I got a wicked fat lip. I didn't lose any teeth, and I got a free sausage out of the deal. So, and people were really nice, and like people around me were like, "Are you going to sue?" And I'm like, "No, it's a baseball stadium. Why?" That's pretty.
There's literally signs everywhere that says, "Watch out for flying baseballs."
And honestly, even if there wasn't, it's a baseball stadium. You're gonna have to expect there's gonna be projectiles getting shot every which direction. I wasn't mad.
Sue what?
And people were like, "Were you mad?" I'm like, "No, I wasn't mad." I'm sitting.
I'm sitting on playing their sport.
I'm sitting on the Monster, and they're hitting nukes over my direction. I need to be aware of that. Like, come on.
That's funny.
I got a picture. I'm trying to find the picture, but I have to go into like my cloud drive. But like, there's a picture of me in like the medical room with ice pack on my face, just like, hi, just like. Look around. It hurt like hell.
For the game.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah! I wasn't leaving the game.
That's awesome.
I just, whatever. That's the way it goes. It's part of the deal, man.
Part of the experience.
Yeah, I remember I called my mom. My mom was like, "Are you okay, sweetheart?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Did you go to the hospital?" I'm like, "Why would I go to the hospital? I got
Like they
Like
had medical staff on site.
yeah, and they
It's all
came
good.
and they got me. Here it is. I found it. Hang on, let me get rid of my virtual background so I can show you an idiot. Oh, I'm gone. And that way I can show you the picture.
You're showing me. You're showing the people.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
Okay.
It's a picture of me in the medical room with some lady. Like you gotta be a good sport about it. Like
For
had a
not a
good time.
fan, you're wearing a jersey.
Well, I told you I was. My buddy invited me, and he gave me one of his jerseys. Like I said,
Oh.
I wasn't a big enough baseball fan to sit
Hmm.
here and say I'm a Yankee fan at the time.
Yeah.
Like after that though, I got more into baseball. Just because again, it's I my sense of humor. But yeah, man, it was a good time. I went. Actually, I remember that Dustin Pedroia's jersey, and it was the camo on the front for one of like
Mhm.
the service salute to service games.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, that was super cool. But whatever, man, it happens. Like I
Yeah.
remember like the nurse, like whatever the hell she was like so concerned. And I was like, "You take a picture?" And she's like, "You want a picture?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want a picture." Like, who cares? It's part of the deal. You go to a baseball game, you get the baseball sometimes. It's pay attention.
I've never gone to the early games where they're doing batting practice or anything, but I've never gotten like hit a ball my way.
Oh man, they were launching them over
The
to the
only
monster.
time that it's happened to me was when I went to a Red Sox Rays game at Fenway, and it was when I was still married, and my ex-wife is a Rays fan, and we're sitting. So it was actually a rain delay game. So
In Fenway?
at Fenway. So the game was delayed because of rain. And then when our game started up, they were like, because we had our kids with us, but they weren't with us at the stadium. My mom was watching them. So when the rain delay happened, because it was supposed to be a doubleheader that night. So like there was supposed to be a day game and then a night game. And then obviously the first game got delayed because of the rain. They actually told us that if we want to stay for the second game, that we can stay for the second game. We just have to go get a ticket from the box office. They'll give it to us for free. And we almost did it, but so we almost saw 2 games in one day, which would have been a lot of baseball.
That's a lot of baseball. That's a lot of baseball.
So, but we were sitting up in like the box seat areas because we got kind of really good tickets on like the second level. And we're sitting there, and then there's nobody in the stadium anymore, really. So we're like, hey, let's go down and sit behind the dugout. So we went down, we went and sat behind the dugout.
Yeah,
so I was like,
who's going to stop you?
This is cool. Yeah. Nobody in the stadium anyway. So we're sitting behind the Rays dugout, and my ex has her Rays jersey on. And one of the players sees her in the crowd and throws her a ball, which is cool. Like, it's cool.
I would take a ball from A-Rod. I don't give a shit.
Except some kid who is wearing Red Sox stuff because she can't catch. So she drops the ball, and some kid goes for it, and she's like, fuck no, and pushes him aside and grabs the ball like,
yeah, I'll fight.
I'll
fight a kid.
It's my team. He's throwing me the ball. Go away, kid.
Yeah.
And they
I'll fight a kid.
They just started booing her, and I'm sitting there laughing. And I'm just like, I'm on her side, mainly because she's my wife. But I would have done the same thing if I was in. If it was my team and I'm in the away stadium, like I'd have done the same thing.
Hell yeah, F you, kid. Man. Get away from me. Like they're clearly throwing it to me.
Sit behind the Red Sox dugout and get a ball thrown to you.
They're clearly throwing it to me. I mean, it's one thing if like they're throwing it to the kid and she like ripped it out of his hand. That'd be one thing, But like
they pointed at her and they threw her the ball. She just can't catch. So
I mean, I've been to I think 3 Red Sox games. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I haven't too many. I can't count.
Only been to 3, but I know, ironically, all 3 of them were spontaneous visits or spontaneous trips to Fenway. Yeah, the second one, my buddy called me and he asked if I want to go with them and go sit in the bleachers. No, I'm sorry, 4 times. 1 time was planned. 2 bleacher seats, 1 monster, and then 1 along the third baseline. That was the best game though because obviously you were closer. Mm-hmm. They lost that game though, so that was the only game they lost. But it was 2 Braves games, 1 White Sox game, and the other one I think was the Cubs. I think the Cubs came to the other one.
I've been to only 1 Yankees Red Sox game, and it was when I was 10. Well, it was 2000, so it was like back before the Red Sox were good. So it was like I was 10, and everyone around me started chanting Red Sox or Yankees suck, and I wanted to too because I was a Red Sox fan and I wanted to be like everybody
And you're
else.
10 years old.
So I'm doing it like under my breath because I was taught not to say bad words.
Yeah.
And my dad, I was with my dad and my grandfather, and I'll never forget. My dad just looks at me and goes, "No, you're fine." It's like
he's just spitting as he just,
I'm just like, oh, okay.
See, whenever I go to a Red Sox game, part of the reason I love Fenway so much is because no matter what, that's not true. It doesn't matter where you're sitting, but there are lots of seats in Fenway where you're close enough that you could yell to the players and they can hear you.
Yeah.
So every time I sat like in the bleachers or in the Monster at one time, we spent the entirety of even third base line, even better. I spent the entirety of the game screaming at the other team's outfielder or third baseman to do or not do something.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in the outfield, there was like little rectangles in the grass where they have, for concerts or whatever. And I think the Chicago White Sox player's last name was Deanza. At the time in the Monster, and he would stand in this little rectangle. That's where he would stand, and every time he left that rectangle, I would scream at him to get back in his rectangle. Like he would move, and I'd be like, "Get back in your rectangle!" Just scream it. And my mouth was huge, and get back in your rectangle. And then I remember the third baseline game. I forgot who it was, but he would put his hands in his pockets, like his back pocket, and I would just scream, "Get your hands out of your pockets!" Just screaming at him. And then when the Red Sox third baseman would come, I forgot who it was. It might have been Sandoval still. I don't remember. But like he came out and he would anything he did, I would praise. I would just be screaming. Like, he put his hand in his back pocket. I'd be like, "That's a great idea. Keep your hands warm." Like just screaming, and it got so obnoxious. The people around me were starting to like laugh, and like some of the staffing guys would come walking by, they'd be giggling because I'm just a lunatic bastard screaming at these players. Like, and it's just so much fun because they don't have to respond. I just love the fact that I know that they can hear me. I just hope that they get back in the dugout. Like, you hear that idiot over there screaming about the pockets? Like,
well, it's like if you're on like baseball TikTok, like you'll see a lot of those like fans who are screaming at outfielders like
left for ass, right for boobs. Yeah.
I like the ones that aren't like, oh, they're a little vulgar, but I like the ones that aren't a little vulgar. Like they're pretty funny. It's like he's asking if you like Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever, and he's just like, whoa. Like
I saw one where guys
2K or Madden.
Yeah, I saw that one, and I saw somebody go Call of Duty or Battlefield, and he goes like, just both of them, and they were like, yeah. Like it's like when Mike Trout was mic'd up and he was just talking shit about Call of Duty that night. He goes, "Fuck yeah, I'm playing tonight." Like, you want to get on Warzone? Like, we always forget that like these dudes are normal guys.
They're that's any athlete. They're just regular guys who like the same things that we do.
Yeah,
they just get paid a lot more.
Yeah. And I was talking to somebody, and they always said that, like, mathematically speaking, if you play a multiplayer game like Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever, the mathematical odds of you having been in the same server with a celebrity or an athlete are way higher than you think. Just because, again, you just don't know because they're not. It's not like his gamer tag is Mike Trout 27. Like it's right. Even if it was, you wouldn't believe it was him. Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's a good point. So there's a good to fair chance I've been sniped by a celebrity or an athlete and been pissed.
Well, it's probably a smaller chance that you've been killed by them because there's 150 players in one lobby.
Absolutely. But a higher chance that you're in the lobby with one of them. I'm like, interesting.
Because a lot of celebrities would play in Call of Duty anyway. So
So if you're listening, celebrity, just know that was bullshit and you're a camper.
Yeah. All right, well, let's wrap up this. I'll just wrap up by saying round 2 for hockey starts on Saturday. I'm very excited for that. So
Bruins advance?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so. I didn't see any sad depressed posts on Facebook. So
I was getting to that where over the next couple of weeks, maybe depending on how they play, you may see this getting obnoxiously large, but that's because I forgot to trim it before the playoffs started. And you can't trim it while the playoffs are going because that's against the rules of the playoff beard. So Um, hopefully it doesn't get too out of control.
Well, make sure you trim it around your lips at least, so you can still eat food without getting the walrus stuck in there. So it's like eating a vanilla ice cream cone. There's just hair all over the ice cream. We call it the angry walrus.
Yeah. So yeah. So each week you can listen to Sports and Nonsense on your favorite podcast streaming device, whether it be Spotify, iTunes podcast, or Castbox FM. You could also check us out, the video podcast on the Sports and Nonsense YouTube channel. You just search on YouTube for Sports and Nonsense. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not right. Let me do that over again. It's the Name Pending Productions YouTube channel, not the Sports and Nonsense YouTube channel. But you can search for Sports and Nonsense on the Name Pending Productions YouTube channel. There, I did that.
Very good.
I did that right.
Very good. Words are hard.
So yeah, it's early. This is the first time that I've gotten rolled out of bed and was just like, all right, let's record.
I'm still in my pajamas.
Yeah, so am I. Like, so
yeah, we're doing COVID-19. Good.
Yeah. I had my first shot the other day.
I'm getting my second one in 2 weeks.
My second one is on the 19th of June.
I went to the VA and did it. It was kind of funny.
Would you get Moderna or Pfizer?
Moderna. It was actually real quick. I'm sorry, then I'll let you go. But I went and got my vaccine, and the girl was like, "Okay, so now you just go sit in the observation room for whatever time it was." And I remember I was sitting there, and I was like, "Could they stop me? What would they do if I just got up and got up and left? Like, they can't stop me." And then I was like, "It'll be funnier if I just started like foaming at the mouth and speaking in Latin." Just like, what would they do? Because like the guy they had watching us was like 98 years old, like clearly a volunteer. And I was like, what would he do? What could he do? Like if I just started foaming at the mouth and speaking in Latin, like what would he do? Like, this is a bit above my pay grade here. We're gonna need the chaplain, like what would he do? I want to know. So,
all right, well, I gotta head out to work. So, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. We'll probably have to do this again, this format next week, because I've got family visiting on my days off. So
okay,
I'll be staying with them for a couple days.
Your mom coming?
My dad.
Oh, not your mom.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
My dad and my stepmom and my grandmother are coming.
All right, sounds good to me.
Cool. So, any final thoughts? One of these days, you're gonna have final thoughts.
My final thought was the COVID.
Oh, right. Yeah. Fair enough. I should have asked you that, and then you could have rolled into that. But
yeah,
anyway,
whatever.
All right. Bye.